Okay, guys, today's podcast is something that you cannot afford to miss because our guest today is somebody that is so spiritually inclined. And in fact, make I not use my mouth to explain who him be. The time you see him, what you see will not tell you what you are going to expect on today's podcast. Don't say I did not tell you. Follow me. Yeah, so you see what I'm talking about?
High priest.
The high priest.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, like I said before, when you know I've been gossip given. See, by the time you see in regalia, in appearance, you will now know, see, he is up to something and something is up to him.
Exactly.
Good combination.
Exactly.
So, guys, expect something very intriguing, something very educative. He go teach me, I go teach him.
Exactly.
When I go teach us,
Exactly.
that's how life goes. You're welcome.
I'm so happy to meet you, my legend.
I'm so
My
happy.
legend has endorsed me. Oh. This is my legend. I grew up watching him.
Chai, you see,
So I'm so happy to meet him
today now we are together.
So today's podcast is going to be a banger.
Chai,
So expect something marvelous.
something marvelous.
Thank you, man.
Oh yeah, now so I'm walking to Cheribe.
Exactly.
You see? So he was watching me now, they watch him. Welcome.
Okay, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Terry Baka. You are wonderfully again welcome to this wonderful podcast known as Truth Untold Reality. Truth Untold Reality is a place where knowledge is passed, where truth is told. We don't know how it will take pain you if we tell you the truth. Whatever it will pain you, but later we will reconcile. But the truth must be told. Today, like you saw, our wonderful guest is somebody that I respect so much. Somebody, it is not about your height. It's not about your size. It is about your aura that you carry. So, having seen him and seen his aura, I am too confident that staying around him not going to be a bad thing because I get plenty things to learn from him. So I am talking about our wonderful high priest. High priest, you're welcome.
Thank you, my legend.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I don't do my own introduction the way my power reach. Maybe you can introduce yourself to people more. Maybe I don't do it completely.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. My name is High Priest Ikenna Idro. I am the messenger of the covenant, and I am the current occupant to the throne of my fathers. I'm a Wakajo funding guy. So today I am with our legend on this very great podcast. So can you rub our mind? Let's rub mind to share ideas pertaining to religion, spirituality, and every other thing that holds us together as Africans. Because the white man deceived us a lot. So today we are here to share ideas. I will learn from him, he will learn from me. Okay? So that's why we're here today. Thank you very much. And keep watching, don't go anywhere. Make sure you share, because this program is going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger.
We're not here.
Yes.
Ndị Igbo sị na ose ọjị ada iji ihu.
That's all.
So this is Oji. Yagazie.
Yes.
Sekwena dansi ahụ. Okay. So without wasting much of your time, High Priest, I want to know on what religion do you stand and what do you represent? Are you of, in fact, make I hear which of the religion do you represent? Because me, in particular, I am a traditionalist. I represent the culture and values of my people. And then I declined a long time ago the religion of the white man. So I stood on the matters that concerns my people and not that of others. So I want to know where and what is your stand?
Okay, greetings everyone. First of all, in African spirituality and cosmology, we don't believe we know. Believe means to accept something without evidence or fact. So I don't believe I know. Knowing is knowing, believing is believing. So today I'm not in any religion because religion is a tool of slavery. A lot of people link the Bible to religion. No, the Bible is Igbo tradition. It has nothing to do with slavery. Alright? So me, I don't have any religion. I'm in conformity with the tradition of my ancestors. For example, my great-grandfather Wonyenze, and Owaka Jiofo. I'm going to share a picture sometimes now on Facebook. So I keep the Sabbath day in conformity with Igbo tradition. Because even in Igbo tradition, the ancient Igbos have their concept of Sabbath day, which is on a kuku. Ishia can Igbo le deso bochi zika. Ishia you watch and things even till today in the ancient time, anaha agahia, ada agonu, ada agubi. That day can Igbo neja agachuku, naro chuku, and though we share kuku. Only one teacher in your one said that's never 8 market days in Igbo land. If I tell you that today is a king, in a market where I come from us, a full market in as every 8 days. So you know market where I come from, it's a man that way, you get cake in a cat, or I can't take away. So that's 8 market day system. Alright? So and the Shana I got you one and Arochuku, the Igbos had a central temple in Arochuku. Always share kuku, not ordinary a kuku particular. So they can have that's Arochuku. Because Obi ndị Igbo wu ancient temple ndị Igbo. Onye mere ịba na Obi, ị ga-ahụ a small place aka afụtara mgbe ọbụla egburu lama adọba skeleton ya or skull ya dị ya. Ị ga-ahụ just Obi wu ancient temple ndị Igbo. Nga akọmụ na na-agada for worship in the ancient time. So nke ọbụla na-agaghị agadi Chukwu ha agada na Obi. Onye ji nwe Obi n'ala Igbo in the ancient time. So I'm not in any religion. Nwe religion ọbụla nọ n'ime. I practice spirituality to the core. I practice spirituality to the core and may don't so to the core. So that if so someone or your ancestors, they will come. Because he may don't so. So power. So on your deep saying not the powerful, not the men and not so. Well, you go on Yama may be king and Manamoma. I'm money in them may boon them mother. More than in them now want them mother. Oh, because I may don't so. He's more of into African spirituality because Africa doesn't have any religion. What we call it is African spirituality. The same thing with me, because Israel is in Africa. It was in 1950s when the Suez Canal was docked. Israel was carved out of North Africa. Period to 1950s, Israel was in Africa. That was why it was easy for people to travel from Egypt to Israel in the ancient time. But today they will tell you that Israel is in Middle East. Anybody that tells you that Israel is in Middle East, ask him where is Middle North, Middle South, or Middle West. There cannot be East without West. And there cannot be North without South. So if you're telling me that Israel is Middle East, it's an error. There is nothing like Middle East. In the ancient time, they were called Upper Kemet, or the land of Levant. So it is Africa. That entire region is Africa. That was why even in the canonical writings, which you call the New Testament, the Brit Kadasha in Hebrew, which you call the New Testament, when Yeshua, or person you call Jesus, when King Herod wanted to buy him, they brought him to Egypt to hide him among the black people there. So Egypt is a black nation. The ancient Hebrews or Ibri people, what you call Hebrew today, in the ancient time they were called Ibri. That was the original name. They were slaves in Egypt. And we have all archaeological records, all archaeological excavations, carbon dating that proves that these people were actually in Egypt. I will list for you all the whole 33 dynasty of Egyptian pharaohs, from Pharaoh Manasseh or Pharaoh Nama, which was the first man that founded Egypt. The first pharaoh in Egypt, Manasseh. The last pharaoh was Cleopatra. They said, I will list for you all the whole pharaohs that ruled in Egypt. Then I know where to find Moses. Because I took special time. No pastor can do it. No, I have, you go Bible, I say, pharaoh was soon. I'm not wagging the particular pharaoh. Wagging the particular pharaoh, we have all this archaeological, and we'll prove it with every empirical evidence.
Okay, High Priest.
So that's African spirituality.
Yeah. High Priest, thank you very much for the enlightenment. I like Motishi. Now, from what you are telling, you are trying to make me believe that you are relating, because you are picking some points from biblical stories into existence or true existence. So, are you saying that Bible is a true book, or everything that happened in the Bible is true? Because some of us, like somebody like me and some Africans who are beginning to be awakened, those who are fighting for the emancipation and total liberation of Africans through spirituality and otherwise, those who are standing on the tentacles and fundamental rights of our own people, are saying the Bible given to us, that was given to us, was written on fallacy basics. So I want to know, from what you are saying, you are picking points from Bible, trying to use it as a reference. Are you saying that Bible was actually, everything written in the Bible actually happened, and it is a true book that we should embrace without looking back?
Yes, I'm saying it with every ounce of conviction. The Bible is world history written in details. The Bible talks of so many things which we have seen in so many ancient Sumerian tablets, so many Babylonian archives. We've seen so many records proving, we've seen so many archaeological evidences proving that the Bible is actually authentic and divine. It is world history written in detail. The Bible talks about a particular flood. There was a time flood. The Chinese people, the ancient Chinese emperors also made reference to that there was a time there was flood. Ancient Babylonians, which you call the Epic of Gilgamesh, also made mention of something about flood. So many ancient countries of the world talks about that there was a time a particular flood happened. The Bible also told us about people that are called the Nephilims or the Helims, which are the giants, that there was a time they existed. And we've seen so many archaeological evidence pointing or proving. For example, was Goliath that fought with Dawada. You call him David. The white man changed all those men so that you will not know that all these people are our people. Right? So Bible, we have a lot of archaeological evidence, carbon dating, proving that the Bible is actually truth. We've gone to the Red Sea. Sorry, there's nothing like Red Sea. It is the Red Sea. In Hebrew, it is called Yom Suf. We've gone there to do some excavations, and we found skulls and chariots hills. There is a particular pharaoh that is called Pharaoh Manapta, which ruled towards the middle of the 19th dynasty in Egypt. Pharaoh Manapta butozi anime the Red Sea, and before butozi anime the Red Sea, when an autopsy, a trace of sea salt was discovered in his DNA. Matakwa now this Pharaoh Manapta warned that he was the one that pursued the children of Israel into the Red Sea, and there he died. So this Pharaoh Manapta, before he pursued the children of Israel into the Red Sea, he wrote a stele which is called, go and Google it, Manapta stele, the earliest mention of Israel outside the Bible. The first, apart from Bible, the first time Israel was discovered in archaeological findings in this world is called the Manapta stele, written by Pharaoh Manapta himself in a stele. It's still there in Egyptian museum till today. So we have a lot of archaeological evidence. The Pharaoh Ramsey, which was the father of Pharaoh Manapta, Pharaoh Ramsey gave birth to Pharaoh Manapta, So we have all these records.
Okay. Yes. Now, this is becoming too interesting. You talked about the Pharaoh who died in the Red Sea. You said the name is not Red Sea. Yes. So the Pharaoh who died in the Red Sea. This Bible was introduced to us from teachings, they say 2,000 years ago. And then from the time I was hearing 2,000 years ago to now, let's say approximately 2,500 years ago.
The Bible was written?
Yes, and they say
no, it's more than that.
No, the Bible came to us. When we were in school, they always tell us
came to Africa.
The Bible was written 2,000 years ago.
No, it's more than that.
So okay. No, yes. I don't want to know how many years ago it was written, but I want to prove a point based on what you said. So even somebody who died 100 years ago, not even 1,000 years ago, somebody who died 100 years ago, somebody who died 50 years ago, you cannot find his remaining. You can't find the remaining of somebody who is buried here now. For instance, this is a soil, a land. Somebody who died here and is buried here.
Embalmment.
Don't worry. I know what is embalmment. Embalmment is never to have been buried. Either you are buried and then every day they come and do embalmment. That is not burial.
Not even every day. Someone can be embalmed and since 3,000 years nobody has touched the casket.
That's what I'm saying. Anybody who is embalmed to last for 3,000 years, it means that there is momentum services on that corpse.
No, we've seen some ancient Egyptian pharaohs who have been buried in some cave in Egypt. Since 3,000, nobody has opened the
and they didn't decay.
It didn't decay.
Do we have?
Still on record. Go.
If there is the white man I know that is trying to prove to the whole world.
Let me give you an example. Pharaoh Ramsey the second which was a father of Pharaoh Manasseh. Now, he died as of 3,800 years ago, 5,000, depending. Now, this Pharaoh Manasseh, Ozu cannot in Egyptian museum today, the mummies.
No, the Ozu it could be a monument. Don't say that the corpse original is there.
It's not as original.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a monument. It's a monument. It cannot be that Ozu. Because me and you know very well that during this time you're talking about, there was no mechanism for embalmment as it is today.
Ancient people had
like me now. When I was small, from what I saw in the ancient and traditional way of embalmment, those who do it, like my grandmother, she was Agajofo in Java. And then yes, now why in the job now? So now she was a rainmaker.
Okay.
When she died, she told her children, "Don't take me to mortuary." So I witnessed the embalmment in her house there. The people come with kai and all the rest of things, and I don't know how they were doing. So she was embalmed there for a number of days. So that system is not like that system today that you go to mortuary. They have brought out some chemicals with which you can embalm somebody that the person can last for more than 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 years, 3 years. That embalmment, there must be intermittent services. After a period of time, you go and do 1 or 2 services on the corpse.
For you to remain fresh.
For you to remain, that's the way you have embalmed it to be. You understand? Because if you embalm somebody, a corpse, and then the embalmment, the chemical you use will sustain the person for 6 months. If after 6 months you do not go and do it again, the person begins to decay because the effectiveness of that chemical will begin to drop.
So you're saying that there should be a regular service to that corpse?
Yes.
No, go to Egypt. There are pharaohs that died thousands of years.
And how are they able to still be till today without
you see, okay, there was one program you made. You said that the Asian people didn't have the kind of technology we have today.
Yes.
That is a lie. The Asian people had so much sophisticated technology, more than the world we are living in today. For example, go and check the Pyramid of Giza. How was it able to be? The Baalbek.
Of course.
The temple.
The temple of
that Lord Krishna built for Shiva.
Yes.
Carved on a rock stone.
Yes.
Do you see the carvings? Straight lines, straight angle lines. How were the Asian people able to do that?
The temple of Lalibela.
Go and check the Baalbek. Go to Google and type the Baalbek. You see that there are stone tablets or stone slabs that are more than 15,000 tons, which no Krell can carry. But the Asian people carried it. How was it able to be possible?
Good. Now, that's why I said. Now, when you are saying all these things, it means you are giving remark and reference to African ability.
Definitely.
And creativity.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that.
Okay.
I love it when people champion African credibility.
Exactly.
And then say Africans did it.
Exactly.
Other than the white man who came and said Africans didn't do it.
Exactly.
Good. I love that. But where I have a context to tackle is the area of you telling me that Pharaoh, who died over 3,000 years ago, inside the Red Sea. Now, this sea, there were no embalmer, no mortuary attendant, no mortuary attendant that would have embalmed him to keep him lively until this day. Now, me and you know that the fishes in the sea, when once something of that nature happens, some of the fishes will come and be chopping small, and then so this person wouldn't have.
That's the skull, not the flesh. I'm talking of the skull and some
the skull. Now,
some chariot wheels were discovered in the Red Sea.
Yes. Now, the white man that I know, who is trying to prove Africans, the whole world beyond reasonable doubt, that what he wrote in the Bible is actually true, cannot find such skulls and identify them as that of Pharaoh and did not make it public. The white man would have CNN, Al Jazeera would have carried it.
He's there.
They say we didn't. Let's not leave CNN.
No, he's there.
So CNN and Al Jazeera would have carried it
He's
to
there.
tell the whole world that
there.
what the white man wrote about.
I have an objection, my legend. I have an objection. When you say the white man wrote the Bible, that is a total misconception, and it's not true.
Because who wrote the Bible?
The Bible Thank you very much for that question. Now, viewers all over the world, here comes Jingoro High Priest Ikenna. I am the messenger of the covenant. The Bible was written by our ancestors and in our language. Now, if anybody, I'm coming.
No, I want you to identify the ancestors. Is it our African ancestors?
Yes, our African ancestors.
Okay.
Now, and Igbo ancestors, definitely. I'm linking Igbo to that.
Okay.
Now, if anybody who tells you that the Bible was written by white people, the first question you ask that person that will cripple them down is, if the Bible was written by white people, which particular country in Europe did the writers come from? That's first question. Take note of that. Now, second question is, what language was the Bible first written in? That's second question. Third question, what alphabet or alphabet was the scripture written on papyrus scroll? What alphabet were they inscribed on? Now, the moment you ask yourself this sensitive question, you begin to understand that when you start to trace it back, you begin to understand. In Igbo system, we have a writing system that is called Nsibidi, which was probably one of the earliest writing system of our people. Remember, not everybody is an Igbo, right? I've given that lecture several times. And then between Southeast, we are not all Igbos. There are so many clans and so many people that migrated that are here. The Nri Kingdom is here, the Aro dynasty is here. The man Anabo Igbo is from Anambra State. That is why you have Obi Igbo, you have Ami Igbo somewhere in Imo State. You have Ami Igbo again in Enugu. So Igbo Gakara. The same way Isum Shinimie, Emu Isum Jaba, Mwe Isu Anambra. So we are not all Igbo, but that's another topic for another day. Alright? So when you compare the writing system, the scripture was written on papyrus scroll, and the alphabet there, this scripture is what I call the Nsibidi. After this broadcast now, go and compare and contrast the Nsibidi and the Paleo Hebrew. Is the same thing. There is no difference. It's just that these Ashkenazians that occupied Jerusalem, occupied Israel in the 18th century and converted to Judaism. When during 17th century AD, when Pope Urban II fought against Jerusalem, they wanted that entire region. Even I've said this several times on my broadcast that Roman Catholic created Islamic religion, and that's another topic for another day. But we'll take them sequentially and one after the other. All right. So when you check the ancient language that the Bible was written in, you check our own Igbo language, our own Nsibidi. It is the same thing. I write Hebrew and I teach Hebrew. I write Nsibidi and I teach Nsibidi. So the writing system, I have it at the back. I can write it for you here and now and pronounce it for you. So what you call the Pali, remember that Hebrew have 3 stages. There is what we call the ancient Hebrew, which is the one Abraham. Abraham didn't speak Hebrew actually, because Abraham came from southern Iraq, which is the land of Ur. Abraham spoke a language called Akkadian, right? Now from Akkadian, the Mosai called him from his father's side and gave him a land in the land of Canaan. Canaan is made up of 7 countries. You have the Jebusites, you have the Hittites, you have the Amorites. There are 7 tribes that makes up Canaan. You have the Aramaic. Alright, so when Abraham went into that land of Canaan, I'm sure that probably when he started studying the languages of the ancient Canaanites and all that, probably, which we are not sure actually, I have to be honest on that, probably that's what gave birth to Hebrew language, because Hebrew was not part of the languages of the ancient Canaanites. So this Hebrew, we have compared Hebrew and Aramaic. We see that it is the same thing. For example, like what my legend said, the white people are trying to hide a lot of history. For example, these people not Israel, they are not the original Israelites. That was why the second president of Egypt, Gabo, said, the second president that Egypt ever had. Remember how Egypt was conquered? The last pharaoh of Egypt was Cleopatra the Seventh. That she was a woman. She fell in love with Mark Antony and
Augustus,
Julius Caesar. He fell in love with Mark Antony. Yana Mark Antony mutara nwoke. Agwa we tabulu the woman said he died of snake poison. I will tell you all these things, right? So Egypt was conquered. Before you know, the Greeks took over Alexandria. Before you know, the Romans. The current people now that are holding Egypt now are the Arabs. Alright? So when you compare and contrast the Nsibidi and the ancient Hebrew, Hebrew have 3 stages. We have ancient Hebrew. We have the one that we call Paleo Hebrew, was the one that Moses was writing on. And it was this Paleo Hebrew that the 10 Commandments was written on the tablet of stone during Stone Age, because we have so many ages. We have so many age eras. Even Igbo people have it. We have medieval age, we have Stone Age, we have some Renaissance age. So many of the, like in Igbo tradition, we have Ogaka, Ogam, Ogajin, Ogas. We have all these age eras, even in Igbo cosmology and Igbo spirituality. So I am telling you, I'm giving you the assurance that the CBD and the Paleo Hebrew is the same thing. There's no change. For example, the last book of the Old Testament, these people in Israel, they will tell you it is the book of Malachi. But write it and pronounce it is a Malachi. Mualachi. Remember, the concept of chi is not only limited to Igbo cosmology. Every other nation of the world have chi. China have Tai Chi. America have chi. Japan have chi. Alright? The Hebrews have chi. In Hebrew, what they call chi is life. Go to Google and type chi in Hebrew. They tell you that chi is a Hebrew meaning life. So the last book of the Old Testament is Malachi, but they went and pronounced CHI as Kai. The person you call David, his name is Dawada. And someone asked me, is Dawada an Igbo name? I said, we have a food called Dawadawa. Is that correct? Someone asked me, is Abraham an Igbo name? We have a place somewhere in Delta State called Abrahaka. And this man's name is Abraham. The wife name is Sarah, Chichi Sarah, or Kasarachi. The white man said is Sarah means to wash. The white man said is Sarai or Sarai. These are the talk, because I met a Jewish man, a rabbi from Israel. I told him to pronounce the word Igbo. He said it is Igbo. I said no, the G and the B have to come together, not Igbo. So most of the problems we are having from the Bible, sometimes the nomenclature, which is the name aspect, and the linguistical aspect, but it doesn't change the fact. Go and see all the whole tradition directing the Bible. Mikuchiwani, Morpho. Leviticus chapter 17 from verse 1. Or say, no, you're going to jail for not the oldest son in the family. Deuteronomy chapter 25 and even Genesis chapter 8, I think from 31. Or say, no, a man no more. Now the brother should take over the wife. 98% of Hebrew tradition can be found in the Bible. Leviticus chapter 17. I say, now before Gibu or make sure no background. That's it. An Igbo man, before an Igbo man kills fowl, the blood must drip in and you cover it. You know why? So that blood can be when spirit gaff again. You know, spirit feeds on blood in Igbo spirituality. That is why the Bible is going to toilet. Now before you in those days, all need more can Moses have the toilet anymore. I was thinking, I get you the toilet, now you make sure you shovel, give water. You get toilet, now you cover. So I can have him more gaff again. Because the guy got toilet, he might more grave from more 1,000 years ago. He might more you more or you about 1,000 years ago. Or he may get toilet in more here as an African. He get ego or 50 naira or 100 na Jemacha Shahan. So because all of them were more in your position here 1,000 years ago, 500 that you don't know. One name when you want weekly this particular position in the toilet because you when you were. Now also she make an anchor. Or she did give away Jemacha Shahan could be able to drop and move. So Bible give, but the problem I see here is that according to what my legend is saying, the problem I see here is that the way the Pentecostal present your Bible is not what it is.
Okay, you have answered my question. Let me, first of all, you said the Bible was written by Africans, yes. Igbos to be precise. Now, the question is, first of all, it is a mechanism for your defense. But truth be told, how can somebody, as an Igbo man, and then I am here, I wrote a book and wrote about a Jesus.
No,
one
I'm
Jesus.
not talking of the New Testament, sorry. The Jews don't believe.
No. Whether the Jews believe or not, what we are talking about is what we are talking about is the Bible.
You should have asked me if I believe, remember?
Yes.
Whether I don't know if I believe in New Testament or not.
Okay, whether you believe in New Testament or you don't believe in New Testament, the truth of the matter is that what we are talking about is Bible, and then the Bible is one book.
But excuse me, sorry.
So the Bible is one book given to us. But one thing I want to let you understand is this. In fact findings, you are not too far from the truth when you're talking about the Old Testament alignment with Igbo's culture and tradition. You're not far from the truth, but you didn't pick it from the head. You came from behind to the front instead of coming from the front to the back. Now, I keep telling people, I said to people that the Bible, Old Testament, was written on the basics of African mythology and artifacts. The white man came and studied the culture of the African man. The white man saw how we were living our lives. That is why people like Aristotle, Pythagoras, Plato, Socrates, All these people studied in Egypt. All these people studied in Africa. Within that time frame, they learned many things about the African culture and tradition. And then somewhere in Leviticus that said, any woman who is in her menstrual time, any woman who is in her menstrual time,
chapter 15,
any woman who is in her menstrual time should be isolated from her
husband.
Should not cook for the
come to
husband.
the temple.
Yes. So, now, this is the tradition of African man. This is the tradition of Igbo man, which made some Igbo people in those days married more than one wife, so that when one is in that circle time, she is left alone in her hut, and the other one who is free cannot cook for the man on his traditional stand. So, Bible was written when these people studied. That is why when you talk about Cleopatra, and I said, wow, okay, the high priest is actually coming to my corridor. Now Cleopatra, yes, was one of the kings. After her father died, she took over because she wanted to stand strong and fight for the emancipation of her people and to make her people stand strong until she fell in love. Now, she married the first one and got divorced, and then Julius Caesar, who then convinced Cleopatra to bring all the scrolls, all the books written in the ancient Kemet, and then he stole them to Athens to go and begin to place them in a plagiarized way, which is sent back to us as if they wrote the history of Africa in a plagiarized platform to send to us. So, Egypt, as a matter of fact, was a center of spirituality as far as Africa is concerned. And that is why when you mentioned Arochukwu, how our people, go to Arochukwu. Arochukwu, yes, fantastic. Arochukwu is one of the spiritual database in Igbo land, which can be traced to Ibn Shrine. Ibn Shrine was one of the greatest database that was saving his children during the wars and all the rest of it. In 1901, the white man came and saw Ibn Shrine as the database of African spirituality, Igbo spirituality, and went into destruction. Yes, today, Egypt are being occupied by Arabs. But in 604, when the Arabs invaded Egypt and captured Egypt, it wasn't only Egypt, Tunisia and Morocco, as at that time. And then when the British came with their religion, they fought a battle with the Arabs to drive away the Arabic nature and placed their religion into it. Now, when you say that the Igbo man wrote the Bible, I wonder why an Igbo man will sit here and write Bible, not mentioning Okechukwu, not mentioning Chijioke, not mentioning Amarachi. He left here and began to mention another man's name. Yes, and he left here, go to another man's place, be mentioning another man's name. And then why then did he write all these things and then allow the Europeans to write the New Testament? Like you said, New Testament, Old Testament is where you stand, New Testament is not. So how did he allow himself, our ancestors who wrote Old Testament, if they did, and then allowed themselves relinquish this book or these books they wrote to the white man, and then the white man grabbed it and then wrote his own New Testament, packaged it all, and then returned it back to us. Now, he did not return it back to us for us to accept it, that part was written by our ancestors and part was written by them. He brought it back that this is what happened in Europe, that there is one spirit that told them to write a book, and then the spirit told them to write how the world was created and who created the world and all the things that happened, the Adam and Eve, first man and first woman creation, and all the rest of it. So now, he is not giving us the book in peace. The book was given to us by tooth and nail, fight, killing, and destruction. For us to, either you like it or not, you must take this book. So why?
Forcing.
Yes.
Forcing us.
So why did the Igbo man didn't put Okechukwu, he didn't put Chidimma, he didn't put Chijioke, he didn't put Uchenna, he didn't put Uchechukwu.
But
he wrote
there's a Malachi there.
No, where?
Malachi.
No, this is your own interpretation.
No, that is Malachi.
Because an Igbo man cannot write Bible, or an Africa cannot write Bible and then accept to write in the Bible that the first man and the first woman was Adam and Eve. Instead of him to say the first woman was Okori and the first woman was Mbafo.
Now coming to that aspect, thank you very much, my legend. Thank you very much. Now coming to that aspect, I said it's one of the problems we are having about this scripture. I don't call it Bible because Bible is a Greek word gotten from Biblos. Biblos was the ancient god of library and writing. So I don't use the word Bible. I rather use Torah or scripture, depending. Now, I said it here that one of the problems we have is the name aspect, which is the nomenclature. Now, the concept of Okechuku, the concept of we adding Chuku to our names. As of 200 years ago, people were not adding Chuku to their names. The concept of Chuku was an invention of when the Bible came. Bible came to Igbo land 186 years ago. The first church that came to Igbo land was Anglican in the year 1857. And after 15 years, Roman Catholic came. So in other words, Anglican 15 years to Roman Catholic. So later they moved down to Ebu. Now this over Ebu cannot take the first Igbo Bible. Now the writers of the Igbo Bible, they never use the word Chuku, they use Chineke. So people that are, like for example, if you check your surname, you can never see any surname answering Chuku. Chuku is a recent invention. Who is Chuku? Chuku is a deity that emanated from our Chuku people. Period to the white man bringing the Bible, showing us our like circumcision, which are in the Bible, and so many things in the Bible, the white man was showing us, which our people didn't even know because maybe they have forgotten that knowledge. Because there's one man called John Ogilvy. I said it's one of my podcast program. He was people that was involved in creating map of Africa and map of the world. So John Ogilvy, he came to Igbo land. And in his book, this book, he wrote this as of 500 years ago. In that book, he said, go and Google it, a book written by John Ogilvy. He said that there are some people that he met at the offshore of River Niger, that these people said that they have link with Abraham. I remember the Encyclopedia Britannica of 1929 mentioned that Igbos are the wandering Jews of Africa. Right? So when you talk of Okechuku, in the ancient time, our people, my grandfather never had the concept of Chuku. What you see, names like Osumborogo, names like Afam Uche, and so many other Duru, which is my son name, Duru Jaka, Okono. That's no Chuku. No Chuku. Chuku is a recent. Our people say Chuku Abiyama. Chuku, who is Chuku Abiyama? When that Chuku, that Chuku had in our Banaga Chuku Naro Chuku. From Dense, in those days, Israel and elderly man, and they're saying, Naga Chuku, Naga Chuku Naro Chuku. So, I met him Robodan Ababiama. Some of you who are conversing with Abia State. People don't know what is Chuku, they don't know what is Chuku Abia. So our people didn't have the concept of Chuku. And I repeat, and I say it every time. No human being can know the name of the Mosai. Even Moses is a know Yahuwah. Some archaeologists saw Yahweh. I don't believe in Yahweh actually. No, this is still titles and phrases. If there is a creator, nobody can know his name. No, Yoruba I was asking, so these things are just human being, no? For the fact that we can reveal the Tenkobo, or we hear reveal them, only his own direct source to divinity and the spirituality. About there was one day that they brought somebody to my temple. The person in Bula, Buri and Amoto booked in my temple. Some lady, woman. Now, you see, I'm half dead. If we were like the way he was breathing. Get a come. Come there, check a bolo and the morning was some with a base in white. Now we're going to made the base in white. They say no beer. Now that is spirituality. Nobody will tell you what to do in spirituality. On a biatic or conepa. Yeah, but that is the way it is. It is in our DNA. Alright? So the name aspect of it, this Okechukwu, for example, Tenkobo mentioned. In the ancient time, our people didn't have the concept of Chuku in their names. The only time, and when somebody says Umuchuku, Nambra, Umuchuku, the name came in 2006 by their king. So the ancient name in Igbo, I wanted that concept of Chuku is Arochuku. And that Chukwu and then Kalabana Ibini Babi. That's the other name the other people called it. So he was a long Juju, he was a great deity that our people go to. Yes. So I will tell you that I don't believe in Chuku. And I can also tell you that I'm not an Igbo man. And I have rights and whatever to back it up.
Yes, that you're not an Igbo man. It's okay. We'll talk about it. Okay. But I want us to, demystify this biblical aspect of this. Invariably, you are on my side. Yes, invariably you are on my side. You are, for the fact that you are a champion of African culture and tradition and spirituality, you are on my side. But where I am getting the misconception is you are totally giving credit the other way around. If you tell me that the white man who wrote the Bible,
the white man did not write the Bible.
He said Igbo wrote the Bible. And then I asked you.
It was not written in any European language.
Yes, so.
Not European, they didn't as Spanish. The Bible was not written in English. It was not written in French. It was not written in
So now what
are the people get the authority to say the Bible written by white people? Whereas there is no white man's language that the Bible written in.
So now how can this Igbo man, we have 55 countries that made Africa, including deserts and seas. How can this Igbo man sit in his comfort zone and then articulate that the creation of man or the creation of the world was done by one God that we don't know? How can this Igbo man sit in his comfort zone and say that the first man and woman was not blacks but Europeans, Adam and Eve, and not Okorie and Mbafo? How can this man...
This concept of Keorian was by King Henry that brought it into existence in the 9th century.
Now, how can this Igbo man, we have Omambala River, we have Njaba, we have Wangele, we have Orashi, we have different seas that African or Igbo spirituality can be traced to. How come he did not see any of this river worthy of cleansing? The Igbo man left here, left the shores of Igbo land, the shores of Nigeria, the shore of Africa, and went to another man's land, call it River Jordan, where people can fall in and get healed. And then did not promote Njaba River, that somebody can go to Njaba. The Njaba that I know that I go to, he did not promote Wangele, that people can actually fall into Wangele and get healed. He did not promote Omambala River. He did not promote Orashi. And then he left here to go and promote River Jordan that he has never been to, that he doesn't know. Don't you see that you are getting the whole misconception by assumption? Because if I am to write a book about a God, I should write a God that I know. Like you said, very correctly. In Igbo cosmology, our forefathers used to say, Nahana Agachuku. But today, I'm saying Egarachuku, which is to say that originally people were going to Chuku, in Arochuku. Now, if I am to write a book about a God, if I am to write a book about the spirituality of Africa, the efficacy of African spirituality, I cannot avert Aro. I cannot avert those of our people who were going to Chuku to go and solicit or seek power or do some consultations. Then anything that will make me jump here to go to talk about River Jordan or another man's culture or another man's lifestyle, it means that I was not informed. It means that not me right now. So that's why I keep telling you that the only thing you will tell me that I know is that the white man came, the Greeks, the Europeans, the Romans, they came and then came to Africa and began to study the mythology of Africa and then the artifacts of Africa. And then the moment they gathered all this knowledge, what they did was they assembled them, went into their library, packed all their books like Aristotle did in Egypt after 22 years of his study. He went into the Egyptian library, packed all the whole books, and ran to Athens, sat down, developed his own library, and began to teach people from what he learned. Aristotle, Pythagoras, So all these people, they packed all these books in this seat, like Cleopatra that you made mention of. When Julius Caesar came into the life of Cleopatra, he didn't come into the life of Cleopatra because he loved her. He came into the life of Cleopatra in form of deceit because he was actually looking for something to grab. So when he grabbed all those things, he convinced her to pack all the scrolls written and he ran away with them. They went and assembled and sat down and began to write. That is why the circumcision of a child after 8 days, it is Igbo cosmology. Nobody taught us that when a child is born after 8 days, circumcise him. They didn't teach us that when a woman is in her menstrual time, she shouldn't come closer. Our ancestors were doing it, which was why they married more than 2 wives. Some of them, if you are on period day, you're hot. Don't come outside, don't cook for me. So all these things were what they saw, and they went back. Yes, I have treated polygamy.
I have my own concept, which is wonderful.
Okay. Yes, I love polygamy. I'm a champion of polygamy.
I'm an advocate.
Good. So it's a topic we'll talk about. Yeah. So these people did all these things, and then I keep telling people that what they did in Old Testament was the moment they assembled the culture and tradition of Africa in Old Testament, they now introduced a book called the New Testament, with which they used to cancel all the things that happened in Old Testament.
Pastors now focus on New Testament instead of telling our people.
Yes. So the white man introduced the New Testament.
Galatians.
Yes. The white man introduced the New Testament to use it and cancel everything that happened in Old Testament, which is our African culture. Exactly. For instance, the culture of a man can marry more than one wife is in the Old Testament. And they came in the New Testament and told you that Jesus said it is one man.
No, even in the New Testament, there is concept of marrying more than, because Jesus said, listen, this is the first time I'm saying this on air. The concept of this update, I've been hiding it. I want a pastor to come for a debate before I release it. Because a lot of people say that polygamy is the Old Testament. No, Jesus said with his mouth. Because in law court, not what other people are saying about it. Jesus said, this is the first time I'm saying this. He said that they can go now, in other words, Jesus was using polygamy to relate with the kingdom of the Most High. And he said that 5 was foolish and 5 was wise.
Yes, but the same Jesus said also. This is why I tell you, when I stand to tell you that the Bible is just a concombility book written by the white men, never knew that we Africans will later grow up. It's a concombility.
I'm not discarding the existence of Jesus.
Right? I am. There's no existence of such person.
Sure.
Yeah, no existence of such person. Now, you have said you have made a reference to where Jesus said 10 women will be waiting for. It's like we are 10 women are waiting. The same Jesus said that a man is entitled to one wife.
No,
because
Jesus never said
no, he said
there's no such in the Bible.
Wait, let me land there. He said because his God made them one man and one woman. So it is one man and one woman. Which was why he said that a man shall leave his mother and father and cling unto his wife, and they shall become one. No man is allowed to divorce his wife on any reason. He said it was told by your father Moses, Abraham. It was told by your father Moses that when a man is tired of his wife, serve her divorce paper. But I tell you, it is not true. So a man can only divorce his wife only on the account of fornication.
Cheating.
You understand? So, you see, he is here advocating one man, one wife.
No, there is a misconception.
No.
Jesus never made any mention of that a man will marry one wife. And Jesus, all these things, you're taking scriptures out of context.
No, I am telling you what is in the Bible. Google it if you know. Check him. He said that.
I'm encyclopedia of the Bible.
No, but that's as you be encyclopedia. I'm an outside. You there in, I'm outside. So you from inside and from outside. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is that you made mention of Egypt. That the Egyptians today are not the main Egypt.
Yes.
No.
Emily people have not come to there. You talked of the idea of Injaba, Riverman, the Gasha Bible. Why was our own not included? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes. I say if I'm an Igbo man, if it is an Igbo man that wrote, I said if it was an Igbo man that wrote the Bible, I wonder why the Igbo man did not talk about the rivers in his fatherland that he saw where spiritualities are being carried out.
Let me
he went to River Jordan.
Let me come in there.
Yeah.
Now, this conglomerate of people are on Igbo. Like I said, Obo I need which a lot of people be a channel there. But we got share. Now, You believe in the concept of migration, or you know about
Yeah,
people migrating to ancient
very, very well.
Now,
Very well.
the ancient Hebrews, when they came here, they also made people here. So it's not as if that no one go here. Yeah, just different tribes migrate to Channel Igbo, Epidobidi here. Okay, that entire region that the Bible happened is what was recorded. So after some time there was migration, people started leaving, people started migrating. All right. So when the Bible written, it was written at that particular geographical location. So when I say Igbo man, the Bible was written by one. It doesn't mean that it's every people that you call Igbo know about the Bible. When those people migrated, there were people that they met here.
So
in Igbo land. So the oldest artifact that was discovered in Igbo land is the Leja Nsukka, where we've been smithing iron as of 2000 BC in Nsukka. Is way older than Abraham, right? The Leja Nsukka, where we've been smithing iron. Okay, Abraham, 2000 BC, that's 4,000 years ago. Abraham. So we have the Nsude pyramid, we have the Buku report, we have so many things that have been carbon dated. Although I don't trust carbon dating, actually. Carbon dating sometimes at Oashi. They will come and tell you that there's one pyramid that is 30 years. Who is there to know what is 30,000? So there's one program I did, there was a lecture I did. I dissected the concept of carbon dating. Sometimes I'm at the sometimes I'm at Oashi.
So if you do not completely give into carbon dating, why then don't you have problem with the Bible?
Why I don't have problem with the Bible is
yes, because it's the same carbon dating.
No, it's not carbon dating.
There is nothing that happened in the Bible that have a verifiable.
There are so many of them.
Like which one?